Hey beauties, welcome back. Today we're going to be testing out the new Selena Gomez Liquid Touch Weightless Foundation. Looks like this. I have mine in the shade 140C. I do have also 130, but 140 seemed to match me a little better. The packaging, it just says Rare Beauty right here. Has a ball at the top for easy opening for people with like joint pain and stuff. And when you open it, it does have a big doe foot applicator, which some people don't like, some people do, because you're touching your face and then putting it back in. It doesn't bother me. I know some people don't like that, but it does not bother me. This retails for $29, which is a very good price point. It's not too high to be at Sephora. And also has 48 shades, which is fantastic for a new makeup brand to have so many shades like that. So good going on that. It says it's a, if I'm looking down, I'm looking at my laptop so I could read the little info. Providing buildable, medium to full coverage with a natural finish. It says that it's for normal, dry, combination, and oily. I am combo to oily, so we're going to give this a fair test today and see what I think about it. I think that the shade range is fantastic. I think that the price point is there. This comes in 1 fluid ounce, which is standard. So, and this is also vegan and cruelty free. So, yeah, let's jump right into it. Let's see how it applies. Let's see how it wears. I do have larger pores around these sides of my nose here. So, and for it to be says finish is natural. We'll see how it wears on my combination to oily skin. And yeah, let's jump into the video. So jumping right into this foundation wear test, I have already primed my face with the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. And going right in with the Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas. Just going to do 1 full pump for my whole entire face. And I do apply this all over my face, not just in the T-zone. I have fallen in love with this primer. It makes your skin feel like absolute silk. It does slightly fill in your pores, but not enough for mine. And this Lancome eye cream is what I used to prep my skin. It's like a thick cream. It's not one of those thin ones, so it gives real hydration. And then going in with the Dr. Brandt Pores No More as usual, and I am just putting this in the T-zone. Like I said, I do have larger pores, so always using a pore filling primer down my T-zone. And I always do switch between this one and the Hailey's Beauty primer. I think it's called Refine Prime. These two are my absolute favorites. But today I am using this one. It is less hydrating than the Hailey's Beauty one. And then this is what the box looks like for the Rare Beauty. I am in the shade 140C. And this packaging just says Rare Beauty right on the side. And it has this ball at the top. And it actually has a shaker ball in there. So just striping this down my face. I actually don't mind these kind of applicators. They don't bother me. I wouldn't actually recommend using these if you have like open sores or acne that has been open or sore or anything like that, because it will put bacteria back in the bottle. But other than that, usually these kind of doe foot applicator foundations do not bother me. And I have striped this down my face. I'm not sure how much to use. I have probably used a little too much, but this is the Real Technique sponge that I picked up at my local Walmart, and just pouncing this all over the face. And as you can see, and as I was applying this, it gave me high medium coverage. And when I was applying this, I also felt like a CERM foundation. Like that Bare Minerals CERM foundation is exactly what this reminded me of. It's got like that slick to it, like hydrating feel, which isn't always the best for my skin type. I am combo to oily, so we'll see how this one wears throughout the day, but usually not the best for my skin type. But nevertheless, it did go on nicely. And it does give pretty good coverage for what it is, for being so lightweight. Right here, I needed a little bit more coverage, but wasn't trying to pack it on. Didn't want it to look cakey. Just going in with a little bit of concealer from Dose of Colors. That is the shade 003 Fair. This is my absolute favorite concealer of life at the moment. I have not found anything better. This one does not crease on me nearly as much as any of the other concealers that I own in my whole collection. Even concealers that are like $15 more, $20 more, are not better than this concealer. So that says a lot. I do try to switch it up, but I am always reaching for this one. So going in my CoverGirl Clean Fresh pressed powder. It does come with a little puff, which I will probably never use. Just going in with the exact same sponge and then setting everything down. And before I went in with this powder, I noticed that my pores looked super large, like even larger than they normally are. This foundation didn't emphasize texture, but it made my pores just look huge. So I need some kind of help to conceal how bad my pores were looking. And it is a little tacky right here. I just felt on my skin. So this foundation does not just dry down. It does stay a little tacky because before I applied powder, it was sitting there for about 5 minutes. And just lightly dusting this all over the face. I didn't set it too much with the powder, but I do have to set because I am combination to oily. And I always do set my powder with a sponge, so everything looks flawless. And the color match that I picked, the 140C, looks pretty good, and that is the Park Ave Princess Tarte Bronzer. It smells just like pretty strong coconut smell, which I actually like, doesn't bother me. And just going to bronze up the face a little bit as usual. And as I noticed, the bronzer didn't go on patchy, but had to work it in a little bit more because it was kind of just sitting on top of the skin. Some of my other foundations don't do that, like the bronzer just melts in the skin. This one kind of didn't do that. I had to like work it. But when I was finished, did not look bad. So just a little side note. It just didn't go on as smooth as I'm used to. And just running that all over the hollows of my cheeks, the tops of my forehead, and then my jawline as usual. Anywhere that I would usually add bronzer. I usually don't use this bronzer. I do love my Milani Silk Matte Bronzer. And then just brushing through the brows. I really don't have sparse brows, so I don't really spend too much time on my brows. Just usually brush through them and set them down. It's good enough for me. So what do you guys think? It does look lightweight. It felt like a serum going on. The color seems to be perfect shade match for me. I'm going to finish up the rest of my face off camera and then come back and let you know what my thoughts are and how everything applied on top. Okay, so I'm back and everything is applied. I used the Pro Fusion Blush Powder shade for my blush and for my crease shade. I used the highlighter Makeup Revolution in the color Just My Type. I also used the Thrive Cosmetics mascara That's what I have on, and just kept it simple on the lips with some NYX lip liner, and this is Sandstorm, and then just some Essence Shine 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 clear lip gloss. So first impressions is it's okay. Do I love it? Not yet. I noticed when I first applied it, it felt like a serum. It felt nice, but I have combo to oily skin. So oily here, dry out here. I do have large pores here on my nose, few pores here, like in the T-zone. And as I'm looking, it's not accentuating texture, but my pores before I put the CoverGirl Clean Fresh powder on were looking almost bigger than normal. So, and I noticed too when I first applied it, it was kind of just sitting on my skin. And I know some of y'all out there really love this foundation, but just being honest here, not everything works for everybody, and it just goes to show you that everybody's skin's different. So one thing might work for one person and not for the next. It did feel nice going on, but like right now I feel like it's sitting on my skin. It's not sunk into my skin. So it doesn't look bad though, and the shade is actually on point. I picked a good shade. So I'm gonna probably come back with one update before I take it off and just let you know how it wore, but so far it's okay. It's not bad. I do have other foundations that I prefer over this so far. First impressions is just what it is. It's just a first impression, so it can always change, but for right now it's just okay to me. I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of just sitting there. It looks like my skin with a little bit of makeup on it. It's not just looking like my skin. And maybe it's my fault because I used a little too much. So that's what I mean, like when I say first impressions. So maybe when I give this another shot, I will just dot it like she did instead of striping it. But I wasn't trying to have to build up the coverage. I like to put enough on so I don't have to layer. But maybe next time I won't put as much. But I just have to put it out there that my pores were looking extra big. So I am going to come back with one update before I take it off and let you know if it's a yes or a no for me. So this will be the last check-in. I have wore this foundation now for 8 hours. And as you can see, it's wore off on my nose, my chin. And mind you, I haven't been anywhere today. I didn't wear a mask. I didn't have any errands to run. It's super shiny here on both sides. On the forehead, it looks pretty makeup-y. Don't know if you can see that. But the foundation felt lightweight all day, but this foundation is probably not for me. So there you have it. 8 hours. That's what it looks like.